Came Through the Wall by Tim Healy, illustrated by Tony Ross. Contents: Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Part 1. It came through the wall, it came through the wall, oh horrible, horrible, hairy and all. One finger came first, but that wasn't the worst, 'cause along came its friends with claws on the end. Then came the whole hand, the wrist, the elbow, and bolder, the huge hairy shoulder. I lay in my bed in my panic and dread, and I pull up all the bed covers up over my head. And I wanted to scream, I wanted to shout, but somehow the words just wouldn't come out. All I managed to squeak was one stifled eek, and then like a fool I took one more peek. And it came through the wall, it came through the wall, horrible, horrible, hairy and all. And I lay, like I said, in my panic and dread, as I got the first view of a huge hairy head. Oh horrible, horrible, hairy and squinting, with one eye shut tight and the other one glinting. Crouching down low, it came in with a shuffle, with a lisp and a slobbering sort of kerfuffle. Then the thing sort of wheezed and rose up straight and tall. The whole hideous thing had came right through the wall. Horrible, horrible, hairy as doom, hairy and hideous, inside my room. And I wanted to die, I just wanted to die, to float off to the clouds way up in the sky, but the horrible thing was not having that. On the edge of my bed, the horrible thing sat. And then in a voice between slobber and croak, the thing cleared its throat, and it horribly spoke. I come from a land that might give you fright, a place of great darkness, of shadowy night, where swampish, mysterial mist wreathe the air, and everyone goes around covered with hair. But I saw a dim light, and I felt a strange call to seek out a bedroom and walk through its wall. And now I have done it, and now here I am. You've seen that I'm neither a fraud or a sham, but horrible, horrible, hairy and all, and now I propose to go back through your wall. And that's just what it did, and before it went off, it delivered a sort of kerfluffly cough. And then it almost shyly, it said with a beam, "Do remember, I'm not quite so bad as I seem." Then it went through the wall, it went with a shuffle, a lisping and slobbering sort of kerfuffle. And I tell you this, though it might seem insane, I wouldn't mind seeing that monster again. Part 2. Where is the monster who gave me a fright? That's what I asked myself night after night. Where is the thing with the huge hairy head? Where is the monster that sat on my bed? I found myself feeling quite bored and alone, pacing the floor of my monster-free zone. Night after night I pined and I moped for a monster that never turned up as I hoped. Till one night in my bedroom I gave a wild call. I took one step backwards and jumped through the wall. I jumped through the wall, I jumped through the wall, with toothbrush, pajamas, and slippers and all. I jumped through the wall, I sailed through the air, to the land of the monsters all covered with hair. And dark was the sky, and soft was the ground, where I landed with only a faint squelching sound. I startled a creature that opened its beak, and ripped the night air with a bone-jangling shriek. Then the swamp seemed a cluster with glittering eyes, with lisping and slobbering whispers and sighs. And the thing shuffled forward, all hairy as doom, the monster that came through the wall in my room. Why do you come here with toothbrush in hand to visit our swampish, mysterious land? I trembled with fear, I could have almost died, but I coughed in my hand and bravely replied, You came through my wall, you came through my wall, horrible, horrible, hairy and all. You came through my wall, but you did not explain how I was ever to find you again. It's easy, he breathed. You just give a wild call, take one step backwards, and jump through your wall. Yes, I know that, I answered. That's just how I came. But I wanted to know your address and your name. I might want, for example, to ask you to see a movie or something that's good on TV. It was all very somber, and all very hairy, all very swampish, and all very scary. I have no address, the thing finally sighed, and as for a name, I'm nameless, he cried, and a look of great sorrow darkened his face, as a hush fell upon the mysterious place. This is his sadness, explained something small, for lacking a name, he is no one at all. Then call yourself Nameless, I suddenly said, or something more posh, like the great nameless dread. The monster reared up to a hideous height, he gave a loud cheer and a whoop of delight, and all the creatures in sight formed a ring round the monster himself, who now started to sing. It is just as I thought, it is just as he said, I'm no one at all, I'm the great nameless dread. They sang themselves sillies, they danced till they dropped, while the nameless dread faltered and suddenly stopped. You gave me a name, now let us adjourn. I propose that I give you a gift in return. Then he led me away through the darkening night to find a mysterious glimmer of light, which he offered to me with a huge hairy fist, while the swamp was engulfed by mysterious mist. Shadows and vapors enfolded the track that snaked through the swamp as we made our way back. Now I bid you farewell, I heard the thing call, and with the light in my hand I walked back through the wall. Back through the wall, back through the wall, with toothbrush pajamas and slippers and all. Back through the wall, feeling dizzy and dazed, very exhausted and very amazed. Back to my bed, where I lay in a heap, yawned at the ceiling, and fell fast asleep. Part 3. It's sad to relate, but try as I might, I never saw Nameless after that night. It was pretty annoying, it really did rankle. I leapt at the wall, but just twisted my ankle. Whatever I planned or attempted to do, I never got back, and he never came through. The adventure was over, and though it might seem the whole thing had been nothing more than a dream, there's something I keep in a drawer in my room that I look at whenever I'm plunged into gloom. Whatever the problem, by day or by night, I look at the swampish, mysterious light. I look at the light and I fondly recall the great nameless dread that once walked through my wall.